Have you ever stopped to think that the way you deliver your work today can transform the lives of those around you and secure your own future? What you sow with excellence will come back multiplied. See how it happens.
You have a priority mission. By improving the quality of your work every single day, you transform the environment around you and lift the people who walk alongside you. Few people perceive the power of this awareness. Extend your hands with excellence and dedication in what God has entrusted to you, and when you draw them back, they will be full of fruit, fulfillment, better relationships, and a truly blessed life. But how does this truth show up in real life, in the daily journey of those who choose to act differently? Apollo has a story that will touch you deeply. Let's hear it now.
There was a certain quality in the way Mariana walked into the office every morning. It wasn't arrogance, far from it. It was something quieter, something more solid. Like someone who knows they have a mission and doesn't need applause to fulfill it. At 28 years old, she held the position of senior analyst at one of the largest companies in the agribusiness sector. A conglomerate that moved millions per harvest, with power corridors as dense as the crops surrounding its headquarters. Mariana had grown up between fields and faith, the daughter of a small rural farmer who read the Bible before starting his workday. From that father, she inherited two things: the awareness that the land responds to what you plant, and the certainty that no knowledge is truly worth anything if it stays trapped inside a single person. That was exactly what began to bother the older executives. Mariana had developed, almost without realizing it, a method. While mastering livestock tracking systems, soil analysis, and supplier contract management, she documented everything. Not for herself, but for others. She created simple manuals, accessible flowcharts, tutorials in plain, direct language. She shared them with her team, with the interns, with the assistants who often felt lost in the maze of company processes. "Mariana, you're handing over our competitive advantage for free," said Director Renato one afternoon, a man in his early 50s who accumulated power the way others fill silos. "Knowledge is an asset. Assets are not given away." She looked at him calmly. "Knowledge that stands still produces nothing, Renato. Knowledge that flows, multiplies." He didn't respond. But the seed of conflict had been planted. In the months that followed, Mariana began facing a resistance that didn't come head-on. It came from the side quietly. Meetings she wasn't told about. Reports that arrived a day late. Credit given to others for projects she had led. It was the ancient language of organizations that prefer control over evolution. But Mariana had learned from her father that dry land is also a test. She didn't back down. She kept improving her team, kept documenting processes, kept delivering more than was asked of her, not out of naivety, but out of conviction. There was something inside her that understood that excellence is not just a tool for personal growth. It is a way of honoring what has been entrusted to you. One night, she stayed alone in the conference room, staring at the graphs projected on the wall. It was harvest closing season. The numbers were good, but the pressure had left its marks. She was tired, not of working, but of fighting against those who should have been by her side. That night, she made a decision. It would not be a decision to flee. It would be a decision to build. Mariana resigned 6 months later, not impulsively, but with full planning. During that time, she used every remaining day to finish what she had started, a complete rural team management system, tested and validated inside the very company that had tried to contain her. The company was her training ground. And she had learned and practiced everything she needed. With a small partnership formed by 2 trusted former colleagues and a lean initial investment, Campo Vivo Consulting was born, a company dedicated to training agribusiness teams with accessible, ethical, and replicable methodologies. At first, the contracts were small. A cooperative here, a mid-sized producer there. But there was something different about the way Campo Vivo operated. It didn't just sell technical solutions. It sold culture. The culture that a well-trained team is the greatest asset of any operation, rural or urban. Clients noticed. And they talked. In less than 2 years, Campo Vivo had tripled its client portfolio. Not because Mariana was a genius, though she was certainly competent, but because she had built something the market was hungry to see, a company where knowledge was shared like bread, not hoarded like treasure. One day, a young intern from the very first cooperative she had served came looking for her in person. He was 19 years old, with attentive eyes and a notebook full of handwritten notes. He said he had started studying rural management because of the materials she had left behind during the consulting engagement. You changed the way I see work, he said, without ceremony. Mariana smiled. Not with vanity. With gratitude. Because she knew, deep down, that moment had not begun when she founded the company. It had begun that afternoon when she decided, inside an office that was trying to silence her, that she would keep on planting, even without seeing the harvest. The land responds to what you plant. It always responds. And while some accumulate silos full of knowledge that rots in isolation, there are those who choose to sow, without fanfare, without waiting for permission, just with hands stretched out, firm and open, ready to receive in due time, the fruits that only come to those who were not afraid to give. Mariana never became famous. She never made the headlines. But in every team she touched, in every intern who found direction, in every producer who began to see their employees as partners, there was a little piece of her. There was a seed. And seeds don't die. They wait, and in their own time they will grow. Now you who have listened to Mariana's story, may be wondering, is there an older, deeper word that sustains this kind of choice? Tito found 3. And they come from a place that crosses centuries without losing its power. Listen carefully to what he'll share with us now.
There are moments when a story touches us so deeply that we feel the need for something greater to confirm it. As if we needed an older echo, a voice coming from beyond our time, to tell us, yes, this path is true. When I heard Apollo tell Mariana's story, I went searching for that echo. And I found it, not in one place, but in 3. The first passage, Galatians chapter 6, verse 9, let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap, if we do not give up. How many times could Mariana have quit? When the hallways closed in, when her credit was taken, when the resistance seemed stronger than her determination. Paul wrote those words to a community that also faced the exhaustion of doing right in an environment that preferred comfort. The promise is not of immediate results, it is of certain results. The harvest comes. But it requires that you don't abandon the field before its time. The second passage, Proverbs chapter 11, verse 24, one person gives freely, yet gains even more, another withholds unduly, but comes to poverty. This passage seems written to answer Director Renato directly, and all those who believe that holding on to knowledge is a form of power. Biblical wisdom already saw, millennia ago, the paradox that modern economics would confirm: those who share, grow. Those who close their fist, wither. Mariana didn't need a contemporary leadership manual. She lived this proverb in her blood. The third passage, Matthew chapter 5, verse 16, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. Mariana never gave religious speeches. She never preached in the hallways. But the way she worked was a living testimony. Her light was not in her words, it was in the methods she left behind, in the team she trained, in the 19-year-old who found direction because of the knowledge she chose to share. Shining is not showing off. It is lighting the path for those who come after you. 3 passages. 3 confirmations that Mariana's path was not naivety, it was ancient wisdom dressed in new clothes. And now, with these words still echoing, Apollo will bring us a reflection that goes beyond the story. One that reaches all the way to you, right now. Don't miss it.
Mariana was not an extraordinary person because she had above-average talent. She was extraordinary because she made a choice that few have the courage to make. She decided to be great by serving, not by accumulating. We live in a world that confuses power with possession. That measures success by the amount of information someone keeps to themselves. That treats knowledge as a bargaining chip, something to be used at the strategic moment to secure position, prestige, corporate survival. In that world, sharing seems naive. Teaching seems like giving up an advantage, as if you were the sole guarantor of your own future. But Mariana understood something that Director Renato's full silos will never teach: what you plant in people comes back multiplied. There is no shortcut to this principle. It does not follow corporate timelines or quarterly targets. It follows an older law, the law of sowing. And those who sow with generosity, with method, with the genuine intention of lifting others, are building something no institutional resistance can destroy, a reputation that walks on its own. When Mariana founded Campo Vivo, she wasn't just opening a business. She was harvesting what she had patiently planted, inside an environment that had tried to smother her seed. Every manual she wrote, every intern she guided, every process she documented was not just work, it was an investment in a future she couldn't yet fully see, but in which she deeply trusted. That is faith applied to everyday life. Not the faith of speeches, the faith of quiet, consistent action. And what does Mariana's story tell us about ourselves? It tells us that the environment around us responds to what we do with what we have been given. If you occupy a space today, whether as an employee, manager, entrepreneur, parent, or colleague, you're planting something. The question is not whether you're planting. The question is, what? Are you planting fear or trust? Shallow competition or genuine collaboration? Hoarded knowledge or shared wisdom? Every detail of your daily work shapes the soil around you. And the soil you cultivate today is the ground you yourself will need to walk on tomorrow. Improve a process. Teach something you know. Give more than what's asked, not to be seen, but because excellence is a form of respect for what the Lord has entrusted to you. Do it repeatedly, with consistency and humility, and watch what happens around you. Watch people grow. Watch the environment change. Watch the doors that open, not because you forced them, but because someone you helped one day remembered your name with gratitude. That is the most solid return there is. It's not fast, but it lasts. And it's yours. Before we go on, I need to ask something of you, and I do so with sincerity, not protocol. If this message reached you in any way, if Mariana's story awakened something inside you, if Tito's words found an echo in what you already felt but hadn't yet been able to name, then this channel is fulfilling its purpose. And so that we can keep reaching more people who need to hear this, your gesture makes all the difference. Leave your like on this video, subscribe to the Think Strong channel, and hit the bell, so that every new reflection reaches you directly, without you having to search for it. Your comments also feed us. Tell us what this video moved in you. Share it with someone who needs to plant better. Every interaction from you tells us we are on the right path. In the description of this video, you will also find a sociological perspective on the themes covered today, for those who want to go even deeper. It's worth reading. If what you heard today planted something in you, there is a video on screen right now that will continue this journey in a way you're not expecting. Click and discover it. Thank you for being here and for being part of Think Strong. See you soon.